I'm Ben Miller, pastor at Joy Church. For over 30 years, our church has been dedicated to connecting people in Central Oregon with a life-giving, joy-filled relationship with Jesus Christ. Our heart is to partner with God's heart to reach our community. At Joy Church, we believe that people are on a journey to know God, find freedom, discover purpose, and make a difference. Joy Church has grown and expanded. We've added services, we've expanded our teams, and we've remodeled our current building, but we find that we're still out of space. Week after week, there's simply not enough room. We have people sitting on the floor, and we continue to turn kids away from their class because we're at capacity. This should grieve our hearts when somebody takes a big risk to invite a friend or a neighbor to church only to show up and not find a seat. We are committed to making room for the people in our community to connect with God and His people. And although we've outgrown our current building, we haven't outgrown our property. Our church is situated on 10 beautiful acres, and we have plenty of room to grow. We purchased this property in the late 90s, and at that time the church was 125 people. The very first piece of property we looked at was 4 acres. My dad recently told me that as they prayed about it, they felt that it was just too small. The second piece of property we looked at was 7 acres over off of Brookswood, but also that it was too small. Then, at one of the last land auctions in Deschutes County, we purchased our current 10-acre property, and I'm inspired by their faith to believe God for more. 125 people saw way beyond themselves, and they believed in faith for all of those who have yet to come. I'm inspired by their sacrificial generosity, and I'm thankful that they prepared a space for us. Now it's our turn to continue what the Lord began more than 30 years ago in our church. It's time to make room. In December of 2021, we paid off our mortgage on our current building, and in February of 2022, we launched a Make Room campaign. Between fundraising and saving as a church, we now have $2 million ready in the bank, and we are ready to break ground. This also prepares us to launch into the next stage or phase of the church, which will be a courageous step to build a brand new auditorium. The heart behind this next campaign is that we would have a courageous faith just like the Israelites as they entered into the promised land. Joshua chapter 1, the Lord speaks to Joshua and encourages him and actually commands him to be strong and courageous. Courageous faith to believe in all the promises of God. Courageous obedience to step into what was a huge next step. Actually, 3 times he told Joshua, be strong and courageous. We recognize that what God desires to do in and through Joy Church will require a courageous act of obedience and faith. Life is short, eternity is real, and people matter most. This is why we are launching into our next phase of expansion, the Courageous Campaign. The Courageous Campaign has 2 main goals. Our primary goal is 100% engagement in the spiritual journey. We don't want anyone to miss out on what God is doing in and through His church, and we are all on this journey together. Our secondary goal is to raise $5 million over the next 2 years. This will enable us to make room for all those who have yet to come. I want to invite you to partner with God's heart for this community and to encourage you to prayerfully consider being a part of this next step. To stop and ask the question, God, what do you want to do through me? As a church, we are making a choice to courageously believe God to grow and to expand our campus so that we can see thousands more people connect to a life-giving, joy-filled relationship with Jesus and His family. I'm Pastor Ben, and this is our courageous story.